Welcome to the English Hub podcast, where we help you learn and improve your English skills. I'm Anna.
And I'm Alex. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's crucial for every English learner building confidence in speaking English.
Confidence is a major factor that can make a big difference in how quickly and effectively you learn English.
Absolutely. So, let's dive into why confidence is so important and how you can build it up. Segment 1. Importance of confidence in language learning.
Let's start by discussing why confidence is so important when learning a new language.
Confidence is key because it allows you to practice speaking without fear of making mistakes. The more you practice, the better you become.
Right? When you're confident, you're more likely to take opportunities to speak, which accelerates your learning process.
It's also important to note that confidence can help you connect better with others. If you're confident, people are more likely to engage in conversations with you.
And confidence can also help reduce anxiety, making the entire learning process more enjoyable and less stressful.
Plus, when you're confident, you're more willing to experiment with the language, try new expressions, and even play with humor, which makes learning fun. Segment 2. Common challenges and fears.
What are some common challenges and fears learners face when trying to build confidence?
Many learners fear making mistakes or being judged by others. They might also feel embarrassed or nervous about their accent or pronunciation.
These fears can really hold you back. But it's important to remember that everyone makes mistakes and that they are a natural part of learning.
Another common challenge is the feeling of not knowing enough vocabulary or grammar to speak correctly.
Yes, and sometimes learners compare themselves to native speakers or more advanced learners, which can be discouraging.
There's also the fear of not understanding others, which can make people reluctant to engage in conversations.
And let's not forget the social pressure. In some cultures, there's a high expectation to speak perfectly, which can add to the anxiety.
Segment 3. Strategies to build confidence.
Now let's talk about some effective strategies to build confidence in speaking English.
One effective method is to practice speaking with friends or language partners who are also learning English. This way, you can support and correct each other in a non-judgmental environment.
Another great strategy is to immerse yourself in English. Surround yourself with English media, watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books. This helps you get used to the natural flow of the language.
Also, set small, achievable goals. Start by speaking for a few minutes every day, then gradually increase the time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
Joining a language club or a conversation group can also be very beneficial. These groups provide a safe space to practice and make mistakes.
Additionally, recording yourself speaking and then listening to it can help you identify areas for improvement and track your progress.
And don't forget about the power of positive self-talk. Remind yourself that making mistakes is part of learning, and every mistake is a step towards fluency.
Practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques can also help reduce anxiety. Things like deep breathing, meditation, or even yoga can make you feel more calm and focused. Segment 4. Practical exercises and techniques.
Let's move on to some practical exercises and techniques that can help build confidence.
One effective exercise is shadowing. This involves listening to a native speaker and trying to imitate their speech as closely as possible.
Yes, shadowing can help with pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. It's a great way to get a feel for the natural flow of the language.
Role-playing different scenarios can also be very helpful. You can practice ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or having a job interview.
Another technique is to use flashcards to build your vocabulary. Write down new words and phrases and practice using them in sentences.
Using language apps can also be beneficial. Apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and others provide structured exercises and instant feedback.
You can also try talking to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing, thinking, or feeling. This helps you practice speaking without the pressure of an audience.
Engaging in online communities and forums can also provide opportunities to practice. Platforms like Reddit, language exchange sites, and even social media can connect you with other learners and native speakers. Segment 5. Real-life stories and examples.
Now, let's share some real-life stories and examples of people who successfully built their confidence in speaking English.
Sure. I have a friend named Maria who started learning English a few years ago. She was very shy and afraid to speak at first.
What did she do to overcome her fear?
Maria started by watching English movies with subtitles. She would mimic the actors and practice speaking along with them. Gradually, she joined an English conversation club where she made friends and practiced speaking regularly.
That's a great example. I know someone who used to record himself speaking on different topics every day. Over time, he noticed significant improvement in his pronunciation and fluency.
It's amazing how consistent practice can lead to great results. I also remember reading about a student who practiced speaking English with a pen pal. They exchanged letters and then moved on to video calls, which really boosted his confidence. Segment 6. Encouragement and final tips.
To wrap things up, let's offer some final tips and words of encouragement for our listeners.
Remember, building confidence takes time and patience. Be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Each mistake is a learning opportunity. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you to speak and practice. Avoid those who are overly critical or negative.
And most importantly, enjoy the process. Learning a language is a journey, and it should be a fun and rewarding experience.
Absolutely. Keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and you'll see remarkable improvements in your confidence and speaking skills. Conclusion.
That's all for today's episode of the English Hub podcast. We hope these tips and strategies help you build confidence in speaking English.
Thanks for joining us. Keep practicing and stay confident. Until next time.
Goodbye and happy learning.